Hi, my name is Purushottam Kumar, and I am the founder of DataSnifferAI. It is an AI-based competitive intelligence tool. So recently, I was giving demos to some of my customers, like how to fill in the information relevant into the fields to run your competitive intelligence report. So then I realized that there should be some public demo as well, so that other guys can also take benefit from it. So let's directly jump into the app itself. I am sharing my screen. Okay. So this is the screen where you run intelligence, and there are a couple of questions which are uh, necessary to get answer to as a founder or as an agency owner. If you are a CRO, if you are a VP of sales, if you are a head of marketing. So couple of questions, and that are based on competitive intelligence against a competitor. So first question is, what is verified? What is only current state? Why does it matter? And what should we do now? This is about assessing a competitor trigger and response. Similarly, a question could be, while you are in a support, in a live competitive deal and you need a support, you can ask, how should we respond to this competitor in a real opportunity? Similarly, you can have a question about price comparison and packaging, and then you can have an evaluation of positioning and messaging between you and your competitor. You can also have an evaluation of product and roadmap implications. And you can also have a question about public customer evidence and market read, sorry. And you can also set up monitoring on your competitor as a baseline. Like if something happens on your monitored signals, if something new happens, you get to know. And before that, you need to run a baseline report. And after that, from that point onwards, you will get notifications on your app or on your email or whatever option you configure. So for today, as an example, I'm taking this question, like I want to assess a competitor trigger and how to respond against it. So let's fill in some information here. So here I need to put my company or my product. So for the sake of this demo, I have taken a company called Close. So Close is a company which is a B2B SaaS company. I need to put the website here. So let me put the website of Close, that is close.com. Then I need to put the name of my competitor, that is the competitor of Close. So it is Sales Loft. Sales Loft is also a B2B SaaS product. Now I need to put here the website of my competitor, that is salesloft.com. And by default, it is selected as B2B SaaS, but DataSnifferAI supports currently a lot of categories: B2B SaaS, AI product, sales agency, marketing agency, advertising agency, growth agency, and so on. So for our example, it is B2B SaaS. Now we need to also put the target market, their ICP of close.com. So so these are default target ICPs. If I select something else, say for example, sales agency, the target ICP changes according to the sales agency. If I take, say, for example, developer and API, it changes to something else which is relevant to their market. So for B2B SaaS, it is by default showing us some values of ICPs. So let us put our ICPs according to particular example. Say, for example, I need a people who, the companies who have 10 to 250 sales people. So this is a custom target market in ICP I have used. Then decision and buyer context. So I need to put here that, what to be decide whether to change our enterprise packaging or the competitor introduced lower price security bundle, then what we need to do. So such type of queries, such type of, plans which I am not able to decide. So what is my primary decision on which I have to take? So I need to write something here. So here, for this example, I have some text written, and this is basically about close's response to the sales loft's expansion into AI-powered conversation intelligence, how close has to react on it. Then who is my primary buyer? And what is the, what is the profile of or role of that buyer? Who is that for me? That is for the close.com. So these are the primary buyers. So I have put that. Known competitor trigger. So if you know that there are some known competitor trigger, you can write something here. If you do not know, you can leave it blank, no worries. So, and then uh, what is your current positioning like about close.com? How close.com puts itself in the market, how it positions. So here is the positioning I have written here. Then what are the current differentiators? So how how close.com differentiates itself in the market with other competitors, and something about pricing and packaging context. So that is also we have put here. Known competitive objections. So if you're aware that there are some competitor objections which your sales team face, you can write them here. Or if you do not know, you can leave it blank. And if you have something in your CRM about those deals, about the uh, customer objections related to a particular competitor, you can also put those here. Now, this part, customer supplied evidence, it is completely optional. If you have some data as proof, like you are into an active deal with a buyer, but during that deal you need help on winning it. So you need to have data about the competitor, that is here in our example Salesloft. If you do not have any information in your CRM, if you do not have call summaries, you can leave it blank. Okay. So then the fifth one is research window. So data sniffer needs a time frame within which it will research about your competitor and matching to you uh, what and how it can help. So let's give a time frame. Let's say we take 12 months, that is 1 year of time frame. And uh, there are some areas which DataSnifferAI covers, mostly of all the continents. So let's take United States because they are prominent there, both of them, close.com as well as Salesloft. And the urgency. urgency means by when we need to respond to competitors' positioning, messaging, any deal, any product launch, anything, whatever, which is there as an intelligence signal. So this is the urgency for us is right now, this quarter. Now, before running this report, I need to accept this and then we run this. So the report is currently in the generation, and here it is also telling us that what is the current step. Right now it is discovering, reopening, and verifying competitor sources. Okay, so now we have got the report ready. Close versus sales soft. It answers the decision which we asked, and it also tells us why the answer is the way it has been given and what exact response should be used by close.com against sales loft. Then it has a complete huge section for decision options and customer usable assets, so which can be utilized by close.com. Then we have matched customer competitor comparison. So it is between the close.com and sales loft comparison, and with the dimensions like the buyer and use case, and then capability and workflow and integrations for sales loft as well as close, security considerations, and then pricing and packaging. Now, what this dimension means by role. So everything is explained persona wise, like for a CEO and founder, and what it means for a CRO or a sales leader, RevOps or operations team, then for product marketing or just marketing, and what it means for product and delivery teams or heads. Then comes decision economics and commitment boundary. So, what intensity of effort is there? Is it reversible or not? Highly reversible or not? This is about the actions which close.com can take and what is the intensity and reversibility. Now, okay, so it is also telling you the opportunity cost and build partner boundary, and then customer inputs still required. So these are the areas where close.com can give more input for data sniffer AI report generation or refinement. And then there are a couple of ready to run pilot specifications for close.com. And whatever is there in this area, in this section, everything is based on some evidence which it has found from the public internet. So, for example, this ready to run pilot specification has been given. This is based on the evidences. So, if we hover to this evidence, it is given in the bottom of the report, and again this one is something at the 10th number in the bottom. So if we click here, we directly go to this evidence where whatever the information is provided, and the high confidence, low confidence means the authenticity of the public signal. And then we can also directly open this link so that we can by ourselves verify the authenticity of the evidence. Now we can go back to from where which section we were coming, and then we again go and see whatever is the output of data sniffer AI for various teams, ready to use GTM assets it has given, and then it is also giving us this quarter competitive response brief and workflow clarification follow up. A lot of things it is generating, which is useful for various teams. And then it is also giving us that a few things which are not available here. The data sniffer AI could not find out, like, for example, hiring and leadership capability signals, whether they are hiring, whether they are firing. Okay, so these things, any change in the price packaging. So for this, it has found three resources, and case studies, it has found one. Integration and partner marketplaces, it has found three evidences. But for a lot of other places, it is not finding anything. So it is showing 000 for them. So, and then it is also telling us search limitations, like where and how some places are not in reach of data sniffer AI. Then evidence limitations that still matter. It is also telling us uh, about about which parts are not covered through the evidences. And then executive decision summary, it is telling us what is the meaning of whatever is told by the data sniffer AI for the business, and what are the recommended responses for the business. And then decision driving findings, it has also covered. And along with those, it is also providing these evidences which are really high confidence, and you can also go there and click and verify the sources. And a lot of other things it is showing. Now we can this is the workspace, data sniffer AI workspace, but everyone cannot log into this portal. You can definitely go here and export it in the PDF form. Say, for example, for an executive, you can, for CEOs and other high ranks leadership, you can export in this format, executive report. Then you can also take a decision and action ready report, which is a bit more elaborative. Then you can also download it in the complete form, including the evidences. You can also export simply the only evidence appendix. That's it. So, for example, we choose this executive report, 6 to 9 pages, and we click download. So here we get our report. So this is something which is interest of the executives, the higher leadership, and everything is in the PDF format, which can be directly uh, shared and shared with the relevant people. And then there is also an option of emailing this directly from the portal. So say, for example, I send it here, and I click the email executive PDF. So it will reach my email ID. If I say this, so email complete PDF. If I say decision PDF, then it says email decision and action PDF. So this is how Data Sniffer AI works, and I hope a lot of things would have been clear to most of the guys. If you have any other query, you can please let me know. And now you know my email ID. So yeah, you can also send me emails to my email ID. Thank you for patience to listen. Thank you.